So, Brittany, welcome to Pass.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for pulling up.
I'm excited.
Thank you. So excited.
How'd your morning start off today?
Ooh, it started with myself. I spend every morning by myself.
Word.
Yes,
That's a thing.
I got to start my mornings alone. So, and I'm grateful I have a partner that understands that. Like, I can't, as soon as I open my eyes, I'm out of bed. I'm not a lay in bed on my phone type of person.
Yeah.
Because I like my routines and I value them that much. That I wake up every morning just out of bed, doing my routine, and I spend a good amount of time alone in the morning, sitting on my balcony with my thoughts, with my prayers.
Already have a question. If you're comfortable, what does your morning routine look like day to day?
It depends on how I wake up.
Okay.
If I wake up heavier some mornings, I could do a little more yoga or do some meditation. If I wake up a little more creative some mornings, I'm writing, I'm journaling. If I wake up and I need to clear my mind, I'm talking to God. I talk to God every morning, but some mornings I need to sit in it a little longer when I'm a little troubled when I wake up, because I don't always wake up the same. Most of the time I wake up in a really good mood, about 90%.
Right.
I'm waking up ready to go, but I'm a human being. I still have my days, so I always say my routine depends on how I wake up. But I have a routine, that's the point.
The routine thing is just an important piece, because there have been different guests that always bring up the fact that they developed the discipline in their life in the physical place. So maybe it started with getting up and going to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning. Or maybe it is talking to God every day. But what has traditionally been heard, and please let us know if this is true, once you get that in check, everything else in line falls in place.
Oh, yeah. I can't tell you how much I can get done by 10 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like my day is accomplished. Now what? Like, I worked so hard on myself by 10 o'clock in the morning that I accomplished my day. Now it's like, for instance, I had to be here at 9:30. This morning, I woke up, I'm thinking, I spent the morning talking to God and doing some creativity, and I have a friend staying at my house right now. We're working creatively together, so we're fleshing out ideas. By 9:30, I'm here.
Wow.
You know,
Get up for you.
I get up for me first.
Of course.
My day is spent with me and God first. I don't like to wake up and jump on the phone and wake up and talk to people. I actually don't like to talk to people until after 9 o'clock.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But if you're in my house and you're talking to me, we need to be creative, because those are my creative hours.
Yeah.
Those are my hours where I'm creating me, or I'm creating something like writing, or, you know what I mean? Anything like that. But those are like, I don't like to do anything other than that until after 10 a.m. Now, when I have to work on set, that's different. That's where it gets tricky, because when I'm on set, while I'm on set, I have to take breaks to myself throughout my time on set. So it's like, they'll be like, all right, cut. I'll immediately look at the AD. How much time I got? You got 5. That's enough for me. I'll go stand outside for 5 minutes by myself, because they're always taking in energy and you're always moving, and it's a lot of time. Like, you need that time to you.
100%. What time do you normally wake up if the world is still and you don't have to be on set?
Naturally, I have a natural time clock where my stomach wakes me up, I would say around 6:30 or 7 every morning.
So you take 2 to 3 hours to you, to God, to your peace, to your quiet.
But it depends. If I go to sleep too late, my body's off. Because, I study Ayurveda. So basically, it's like moving with the balance of life, like working with the elements, fire, water, earth, everything like that. So your body has a natural time clock, meaning like your intestines are cleaning themselves between the hours of 6 to 10 in the morning. So that's naturally when you're supposed to have a bowel movement. So if you naturally have a bowel movement at the same time every day around that time, your system's pretty healthy. But if you go to sleep late, your clock runs late.
Right.
So things can just run late. You know what I mean? So if I'm going to sleep, I'm kind of narcoleptic, y'all. Like, I'll
Vampire life
at my house, and I'll, like, before the party's over, I'm like, I'm just going to tell everybody I love you now. And just know, if I fall asleep on you, it's not personal. That's your initiation. You have to get to know me. I'm going to fall asleep.
Younger years, when I was outside, I used to fall asleep in the club.
Yes,
I'd be like, this is so boring.
Yo, I will fall. It's just like my body shuts down. I really love sleep. I really love rest. So naturally, I don't fight my sleep. I'll just be like,
But let's get into this actual conversation about where your path begins. Did it begin in D.C. for you, or did you have to leave D.C. to find your passion?
It did begin in Maryland. So when I was a kid, I went to a school called Clinton Christian School. And I remember doing my very first play. I played Little Bo Peep. And I could tell you why I fell in love with acting. It's because I was a kid, and that was the first thing that I did and saw my mother show up for me.
Oh, wow.
So it makes sense why I clung to it. It was like, oh, my mom's here. My mom's here to see me do a play. You know, I wasn't into sports as a kid, so it's not like, you know, when your dad or your mom goes to your football game or your soccer game or anything. For me, it was a play. So that's why I feel like I latched on to the love of it, because seeing my first love watch me do it made me be like, I love this.
Your mom was your first love.
Everybody's first love.
Amazing. I've never heard that. That's really cool.
You don't think so?
No, I agree with you.
Oh.
I'm just saying I've never heard anyone verbalize it like my mom was.
Never?
No. I guess I'm around the wrong people.
I feel like it gotta be somewhere on the internet. Somebody done said it by now.
So how old were you at that first play?
I want to say maybe 3 or 4.
Oh, that was early.
It was very young.
So what at what age after you know life happens did you pursue an attempt at taking a real swing at entertainment?
25.
What was that project, or what was the?
So, I actually studied acting. Like, I studied it through high school, college,
Very cool.
all my years in school. But then in college, I fell out of love with it. I feel like it became less creative and more of like a curriculum. And
Felt like work.
yeah,
Did the
like
school make
it
it feel
took
that way,
it took
or
the
were you
fun out of it.
Right.
School did, or like?
I think the studying, I went to Frostburg State, and I feel like,
Have to.
yeah, it was like, it took some fun out of it for me.
Yeah.
And so I backed away from it, and I actually did a reality show in 2009.
Okay.
So I came from a reality world, and the only reason why I got that was, you know, MySpace back then and things. So I was doing like urban modeling, and then I just got an email with an offer to audition for a reality show. And when I was 21, I was like, oh, being in front of the camera, like, it just sounded like an opportunity. But I don't think I knew what I was getting myself into. Okay. So I fell into like a very deep depression from, I feel like, being trapped in the world of reality.
Well, you broke the hell out of it.
Oh,
Shout out to you.
I'm a fighter. Listen, I fought my way out. I did. And then I had a friend asked me to go to an acting class in Atlanta.
Were you living in Atlanta?
I was living in Atlanta.
Okay.
And she asked me to go. And I went to the class, and it was the first time I felt alive in a very long time. Wow. So I just kept going back.
What was acting class?
Dwayne Boyd, Premier Actors Network.
Pan fam.
Pan, yeah.
Okay.
Everybody.
Shout
And
out to
I
Dwayne
started
Boyd.
there, and a lot of us, like, in the community who are really progressing in our career, that's where we got our start, or that's where we met, or, you know, knew each other from class. I found my agent in that class. I'm still with that agent.
Same.
And that's where my path began.
Well, not saying that I found my agent in the class, but same agent, obviously. What was the thing that, do you remember exactly what made you feel back alive in that class?
Doing something that I knew, I guess, like acting. And I remember how I said in college it took the fun away from it.
Yes.
The fun came back in that moment.
Okay.
And it was like, oh, I haven't felt this in a long, like, especially since college, because it took it. And that's what made me, I kind of like I don't want to say stole my love. That's giving it too much credit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just went somewhere, and then I found it. I felt it again. Wow. And it just breathed life into me again. Like, I felt like it.
Did the reality show cause you to move to Atlanta, or did you move to Atlanta prior to the reality?
No, the reality show shot in LA, and that was my first time in LA.
Okay.
And what's crazy is it was like, I've always wanted to live in LA ever since I thought about acting. But it was like, in college and high school, I remember being like questioning, how do you make a career out of it? Like, where do you go? Who do you talk? What do you do? How do people even do this? Can you do this? Especially if you look like me, like, how is that possible?
Right.
So then when I got here off the reality show, it was the illusion of a dream come true.
Illusion of it.
Wow. I feel like when people transcend into this industry, they don't really know what it is until they get into it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? There's this conception of what it's supposed to be like, what it's supposed to feel like when you start knocking off your first movie, or when you were a kid. I want to be in the movies. You get in one, and it's like, okay, this is not how I thought it was going to
By a long time.
how it was going to go. It doesn't feel how I
This
thought it
was not the
gonna
door
feel.
I wanted to walk
This
through.
was not the door. So, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
like me. Oh,
So-
shit.
What would you say to somebody who might be in the same situation that you were in, where you maybe they not necessarily a reality, but doing something that they felt might have been a big part of their calling and their passion, but it actually starts to turn them off. If you know that's inside of you, what advice would you give somebody who might be looking to quit, even if that's actually something that should continue to pursue it?
It's so crazy because I did quit. And I feel like quitting was a part of my path.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't think some people understand that. Like sometimes quitting is a part of, it's not a quit, it's a break, it's a pause, it's a breath, it's a reset. It can be a lot of things that don't always have to be quitting. Right. It can just be something, you know what I mean?
What's the biggest lesson that quitting taught you?
Trust my process. Like just trust some divine timing. Like I feel like for me, here's why I quit. I did a series that I was up for the lead and I tested for it. And the network came back and it was like, well, she doesn't have a name.
What year was this?
20, right before the pandemic.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Trigger. How can I make a name? Y'all not even giving me a chance, right? So that triggered me.
Your pain.
So then there was another series where I felt like, when I say overqualified, when I start talking about this, you're going to know what I mean. I was overqualified because I knew how to pole dance, I knew how to do certain things, I knew how to act,
He's
I had
double
the credibility, I had all this, and I was up for this role, did the test, ended up testing with my old roommate, chemistry test. How we ain't got chemistry? We live together, we just staying. Still ain't get it. So I said, all right, God, I'm tired. I quit. And in quitting, it brought me to a focus where I feel like I found my purpose, which was like coaching, spiritual coaching, because I got certified as a spiritual coach. And the time that I quit, I reshifted my focus completely away from acting. I thought about it for 7 years daily to being like, what the fuck do I think about now? Right. So I had to find something to focus on. I was like, well, fuck it, I'll focus on me. Right. And so I found this program for spiritual coaching. And this only happened because someone DM'd me and said, have you ever thought about being a spiritual coach? I can't even tell you who they are, what their name is, but that's how people lead you down your path sometimes when you just receive things.
The right things to you
and time. So I looked up the program and I remember thinking, I really want all this for me. I ain't worried about teaching other people these tools right now. Let me just get it for myself. Mm-hmm. And then I went through that, got certified, and then I was like, okay, now I'm ready to help others. And I started coaching people, and for about, I want to say 3 months, that was my focus day in, day out, waking up, coaching, have about 5-6 clients a day, going to sleep. And then one day I get a call, oh, hey, we have an offer for you to do this movie. It's a lead role, shoots here. That's how I got back in. God pulled me back in. I didn't choose it. It came to me.
Wow. I have a question now, right? Because people fight so hard to get an agent, to get a manager, to get a team, to be in a position you're in, to even be in a place to test for a role, right? So with the expectations, pressures, relationships, all of those things, what was that conversation like with your representation? Saying did you say you were quitting? Did you say you were taking a moment? Did you feel like, what was that?
I love these questions. They're so great. You're bringing me back to the memories.
Yeah.
My agents have been through they've been through everything with me and seeing how close and seeing how, they've been through the heartache with me. So I feel like when I told them, I remember being like, don't send me no more auditions.
Yeah.
Don't send me shit.
So that was you said
not send me shit. They were with it.
Oh, wow.
So they didn't send me auditions for months. They called me with an offer.
Yeah. We got money.
We ain't got an audition, but we got a bag. I was like, okay, I'll take it.
Cool.
All right, this is cool. And what's crazy, what's crazy is that off that role was Girls Get Away Gone Wrong. And that I ended up doing a sequel to that movie as well.
You want to tell us more about that role?
Oh yeah, Girls Get Away Gone Wrong?
Yeah.
It was very much a fun, it's on Tubi, and it's basically about these friends who go on a vacation and it just goes wrong. Someone ends up dead in the first one, and then someone ends up dead in the second one. But it was fun. It was I've always wanted to play a Sex in the City, girlfriends, vibe, and that's what it fulfilled for me. It fulfilled me doing that work that was based on friendship between women. And that's what I wanted.
Was it a comedy, a drama?
It's like a comedy thriller.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was my first and only, the first one was my first and only project I did when I had locks.
Oh, wow.
So I remember when I locked my hair, everybody was like, how do you think it's going to affect your career? And I'm like, I had a whole offer. I don't know about y'all. I don't know. It didn't work out for me.
I was just growing them.
I was just doing what I wanted to do for me, and it worked out.
Was
And then-
for you, was for you.
Yeah.
Every
And
time.
yeah. My lock journey in itself was a spiritual journey.
When you were training and you found your first agent, did you audition? Did you do a showcase? Was it just a conversation?
He was in my acting class, so he just saw me working in acting class and was like, oh, yeah.
Tapped you on the shoulder.
And I auditioned for it. He sent me something to audition for. I did the audition, and I booked my first role a month after signing.
Very cool. Yeah. Do you train today? Or have you trained in that time, in the years you've been acting? Like, do you consistently go to acting coaches, or is it all internal?
So it's really weird, right? I feel like I'm at the point, okay, put it like this. When I first jumped into this industry, my training was so focused on the physical plane. Now my training as an actor is more spiritual and mental. It's more about, I could literally study you as a human and get my training. We replicate human beings all day. So I'm always around people when I sit, and I really just pay attention to a person. Everybody's a character you can pull from. Exactly. You know what I mean? So like, we eye contact right here. This is work.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying? You.
What attributes of me do you see? If you're spiritual training, which I have no true knowledge about, is there anything like you can look at a person and pull out personality traits or thoughts or?
Well, I could say that how you're sitting, like you see how I'm sitting crossed and like this, this is protective. It doesn't mean I'm protecting myself from you. It's just a protective stance. You're very open. So if I start sitting like this, y'all don't want to know who I become.
Bring the hot waves
This
to the
is
party.
a shift in my energy.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna start talking to you different. I'm trying to be professional with it.
You chill out.
You see what I'm saying?
Bring the hot
I'm
sauce.
just trying to be professional, because if I start giving you too much, this whole conversation might go somewhere else. You want to talk about acting, you want to talk about God. What you want to talk about?
We love all those things.
So it's like, you're very comfortable.
Dope.
Look at this.
Chilling.
Confident. You can look at me in my eyes. Some people can't even look at me in their eyes, in my eyes when I'm talking to them. But you want to be an actor? Yeah. No. You want to be on camera, because as the audience, you have to think like a camera, and you in front of a camera, you're telling and showing the audience what to see. If I turn my head here and the camera's on me, the audience wants to know what's over there. If I'm looking at you on camera, the audience probably wants to know what I'm feeling while I'm looking at you, what you're feeling while you're looking at me, and they can really be stuck in this moment if it's just looking at each other.
That's your fact. I tell people all the time, I like the camera's a 50-pound lie detector test. I tell people that all the time.
It's crazy.
I want to say one more thing. I'm going to give it to the bro.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I remember it was some Georgia Performing Arts Center. I think that's where the Pan acting studio was holding classes at one time. And I was in the audience, and I was sitting next to Patrick Walker, right?
Shout out to Patrick.
Shout out to Patrick. We love Patrick. And on the screen, it was a short or a web series or something you were in at the time. And that was the first time I ever saw you performing. I was like, damn, she dope. It was like some action indie short project at the time. This was easily 2014 at the time. And then
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
see, boom, right?
Yeah.
And then the next time I remember, I've seen your work in between, like I've seen you on Ballers, but the one that I saw you in Napoli Ever After, right?
Yes.
And I was like, Brittany's a fucking star. Yeah. Like I just saw it, I was like, she's incredible. Like your energy was so intense and specific and focused, and I was just like, this woman's incredible. By all means. So like, are you specific about the types of roles you take? Like, do you say no to anything?
Do
Is there
I?
a process? Yeah, walk me through
yeah.
your process of saying yes and no.
I've said no's to roles just because the co-stars have a bad rep with women. I'm not working with you. You don't respect women? I'm not working with you.
I respect that. I was raised by women, so I super respect
Why am I
that.
going to put myself in that position? You know what I mean? Just for what? No, I love what I do, and I want to enjoy what I do without trying to battle what I do. So if I don't like it, I'm not signing up for it. You know what I mean? And I will say no. Like even when we did 3-ways, I had to say no. I turned it down twice before I actually got the role.
What was the catalyst in it?
The first time I turned it down was because someone was attached. Like I said, that I was like, I ain't working with that individual. Not in this kind of movie. You seen it? No, we're not doing it.
You gotta be safe and comfortable.
You gotta be safe and comfortable.
Right.
And
to
I was
even
like,
give your best performance.
No, I'm not doing that. And then the second time was because of what they were asking me to do. And I was like, no, you're not going to contractually have me under agreement to do that.
Right.
And then finally it came back, okay, what you're comfortable with. And I was like, okay. Because I know if you're giving me permission to do what I'm comfortable with, I'm going to tell you no when I'm not comfortable.
Yeah. Right. And that's important that you say that. I'm actually really happy that you said that because I have a lot of female friends inside this industry that get put in situations where they feel like somehow their reputation or their opportunities are going to go away if they become difficult and stand up for themselves in those environments. So I'm so happy you said that.
Yeah, because I feel like my presence, and when you know me, you know I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm not trying to be malicious.
Right.
I'm not trying to be a bitch. That's not me.
Right.
If I say no, it's because I'm not comfortable or I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And it doesn't affect the story most times.
Yeah, like some
Exactly.
people can be looked at as a bitch because actually 95% of the energy you gave to me was bitchy. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know? But I come in joyful being me, and then you feel the shift when it's like, oh, she's uncomfortable.
How do you navigate those spaces, like when you are uncomfortable as an artist on set, whether it be a male presence or just an experience on set that you're just not comfortable with? How do you navigate that? Like whether it be on set, whether it be in a table read?
I'm a very loud person with my energy. Like you'll feel the shift in me when I'm uncomfortable. And if you don't acknowledge the shift, like I have this tatted, if you do not understand my silence, you will not understand my words.
Bars.
You're going to feel me before I speak. And if I have to speak, it's probably a waste of my breath because you should be able to feel what I'm about to say.
Exactly.
If you don't have the consciousness or capacity to feel that, I'll just remove myself.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But most of the time I'm going to feel and say what I feel.
Right.
And I'm going to express how I feel through my energy. I'm proud of my expression of self and how I can express when I feel good and when I don't feel good because I'm a human.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, I would say I've had the honor to work with Brittany on camera. Like, she a light on set. And I would say I've never felt that shift by the grace of God because the good people we're working with also bring the right energy.
Exactly.
I do want to spin back to when you talked about how you spend your mornings because you did highlight the fact that you're a creative. So I know you've identified yourself as an actress and as somebody who works in spirit as a spiritual an advisor, or is that maybe the right term?
Spiritual coach.
Spiritual coach. But what other creative interests do you give yourself, like time to explore in those hours? Like,
I love you.
oh,
You're asking all the great questions.
hey, it's past podcast. You know what it is. Yeah.
So let me tell you. Okay, so I was raised as an only child, but I have 5 sisters. And I feel like me being raised as an only child contributes to how I am as an adult because I spent so much time by myself as a kid that I had to find so many ways to be entertained and all this other stuff. Right. So as an adult, my home, if you come to my house, it is a playground, okay? I got the PlayStation, I got the VR. You can go downstairs to my office, we can make beats right now. We can make music. We can write music.
Everything.
We can do poetry. I got mics. You want to record something, we could throw it on YouTube. It's just like, I just have
stuff.
I have fucking hand drums. I got rain pipes. I got musical instruments I don't even know how to play. Why? Because why not? Wow. Because if I one day want to pick up my guitar and play it, I can.
Right.
Why not? And I will feel creative. I don't always need my creativity to come with a bag. And I don't always need my creativity to come with this industry. I don't need it. I just want to be, it fulfills me just to be like, I know how to play the guitar. It fulfills me to be like, I can just make a beat. I ain't got to sell it. I just know how to do it. It might not even be the best beat you ever heard, but I know how to do it. And I did it.
It's mine.
I can do it.
That's cool.
I gave myself permission. Not because the world had to tell me, well, you're an actor. How can you make music? I don't need your approval
pretty well.
Show you here. You know what I'm saying? So it's very much like I just give myself a lot of permission to do what I want to do without having even an end goal sometimes. I just want to do it for now. Fuck it.
I just want to do it.
I just want to do it, live in the moment for now. Fuck it.
For sure.
Like,
it's just that.
I'm not confined by your box.
Yo, stop trying to place me in it. Yeah, I can give you sexy. I can give you funny.
Yeah.
I can give you spiritual. I can fuck your mind. Which one you want? I can expand in so many ways. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, as I'm a human. I'm a human living.
You're a superhero.
No.
You're not a human.
First day I met Britt, I was like, okay, yeah, she different in a major way. I do want to know, and I'm sure other people do, out of all the projects that you've done, indie or not, which of these projects that you've done have creatively stretched you the most?
I had to look up for the answer.
Yeah, you know, that's where you always look for the answer.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's a good question. They're all so good. Imani.
The lead.
That was a personal one, though.
Yeah, talk about it. Shout out to Manny Haley.
Manny, yeah. Whoo, I hope I don't cry. If I do, yep, I'm gonna cry. But these are like...
Get some tissues. Buy me a Bentley.
It's not sad tears, let's just say that. It's just, I water. I water when I get super...
Yeah.
When I feel something very deeply.
No.
So, Imani for me was, my grandmother died.
My condolences.
Don't apologize ever, because it's a beautiful thing. Death is a beautiful thing people do not understand. Because we focus on living and we haven't experienced death until we experience death. But then we die every day. Tell me how you can get back yesterday. The day died.
I've never heard that before. That's two. That's two you gave me. I haven't heard.
Sit with it, but think about it. The day died. You're never gonna get back yesterday. Make sense?
Absolutely.
So my grandmother died while we were shooting Imani, and you know, being number one on the call sheet, it's very, it's a heavy responsibility. You barely have breaks between scenes a lot. And that day, I had a break for the first time. And we've been shooting for weeks, and I had a break. And I was sitting in the car, and my cousin DM'd me and told me my grandmother died. And that's a tough way to receive the news, but it was also like, wow, in this moment, like, it was such a polarity of energy. Like, you're living the dream role that you wanted, but then you lose your grandmother. So it's difficult. And I remember laying.
I just want to say, No, we don't have to. We can take a moment and pause, take all the time.
No, this is good. I'm actually glad that you gave me an opportunity, because what I'm doing is I'm freeing the emotion. I remember laying on the parking lot, on the floor for like 40 minutes. You know, like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I never got an answer. And then they were like, we're ready for you back on set. And I'm like, oh, shit. So I had to pull myself together. And I go to set, and Mike Ho, who was the director, he was like, are you sure you can do this scene? And I forgot what the scene was, but it was me hiding in a body bag. And so I remember thinking, damn, we're in the same place. Cool. And so it was the toughest scene in my career, because I had to be completely still, and I had to show no emotion at a time where I'm in agony for about 10 seconds. Wow. But it's the longest 10 seconds, and it's the hardest thing to do. And so when people watch that movie, they have no idea that those 3 seconds you saw on screen, what I had to fight through, what actually happened. I feel so much better now. See, it's not a bad thing to, how do I explain this? What I learned as a coach is that, like, I'm still watering, but now I'm not crying. I'm just watering. Make sense? And I'm a watery person. I either have fire or water. You're going to get passion. You're going to get fire. You're going to get water. We're going to flow. I'm the water, things like that. And so, like, when I feel something very intensely, sometimes I just water. And I don't think it's a bad thing. And I don't think it's a thing I have to hide from people, because I feel like people will look back, and when I do a role one day, they're going to look back and be like, I get it. That's why you're so expressive. You allow yourself to feel. Yeah. You allow yourself to feel the truth. Most definitely. You know, should I be embarrassed because I'm doing it right now? I don't think so.
You have such a warrior spirit, man.
Oh, thank you.
And it's a vulnerability in that takes strength that most people couldn't fathom. Super salute you for that.
Thank you. Vulnerability is a strength. It is a superpower.
Whew. Was there ever a point in your life where maybe you held things, like bottling things up was an only part of like how you got through it?
Oh yeah. You mean, have I ever bottled things up?
In other words, when did it become okay, or when did you give yourself permission to feel whatever you wanted to feel in life?
I think I've always given. Well, no, that's not true. See, I can hear myself be like, no. I haven't always given myself permission, and I can't tell you the moment when I actually started. I can't. But what I can tell you is that I dive deeper and deeper and deeper into it, in what I give myself permission to do. Whether it's my beliefs, whether it's my actions, giving myself permission to do certain things, giving myself. Oh, thank you, love.
Thank you.
Or giving myself permission to believe certain things. I just dive deeper and deeper and deeper into that. So
You got a piece of other eye, right?
you can grab it.
Okay.
I can't see it. You gotta appreciate people's eyes outside of you.
Beautiful.
Everything
bars
you're saying is
today.
bars. I'm like, yo.
You got bars, you know. But please continue. I'm like captivated.
Dive deeper and deeper into permission. Yeah, that's just something I do. I just dive deeper. I can't tell you where I started, but I can tell you I'm in it.
You sure you're not a therapist? Because I might get a couch and stretch out and be like, let me tell you about my problem.
No.
No, this is very powerful stuff.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it makes sense, like, when I see you on screen using my eyes to look at you, like, wow, I believe you. Like, there's nothing in me that doesn't believe you. That's why I'm like, she's incredible.
Yeah.
So it makes all the sense in the world, just like having this conversation with you. I remember the first time we had like an actual real conversation, and like you said, you was like, you know, you're stuck with me now, right?
Yeah.
And
I did.
I was like, happily.
Yeah.
Sure.
You stuck with me
Right,
now.
right. So it just seeing and hearing you and seeing you like this, it just means a lot to me, because I'm so like over here, I'm compressing it, but it's so beautiful to watch you fully express and be vulnerable in this moment.
Why do you compress it?
That's a whole nother episode.
Okay. I know. I was like, why are we compressing it?
It's a whole nother episode of why.
Yeah, it takes a lot of energy to compress.
It does. Yeah, it does.
I'm curious. Have you ever been in therapy before?
Absolutely.
How many years?
I was in therapy for, I want to say, a year, and then I did some
Spirit work.
some spiritual work with some plant medicines. And
Heard
stuff.
you.
Was it?
Heard you.
I have not. We can't say it, or we whisper.
No. I didn't know. Was it ayahuasca?
Ayahuasca is not. I haven't done ayahuasca yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have to
do
be-
want to do ayahuasca.
Yeah, you can. Whatever
Speak
comes
freely.
in.
Yeah,
yeah,
we know.
speak,
Yeah,
you
speak
know.
freely. Go
No, for
crazy.
sure.
No, I haven't done ayahuasca. I've done bufo twice, and I've done psilocybin
Okay.
Okay.
a lot.
Our executive producer's behind the camera dancing right now.
A lot. Yeah.
Okay, so do you feel like, well, actually, that's a whole different conversation. And
We can have it. Let's.
no, okay, I don't have a problem with it. Do you feel like the spiritual places you were able to go through plant medicine, did it unlock anything for you as a creator?
What?
Yeah.
Freedom. Freedom from being attached to being a creative.
So as somebody who still to this day has not trained, looks forward to the day to train, what would you say to somebody who is not, now I'm trying to make a question out of a word I wasn't even talking about that.
Well, I think I know where you're going.
I would rather you just go ahead and speak.
I will say this, if you're considering training, the question to ask yourself is training for what? Is it training for what? Is it competence or confidence? Because a lot of people are purely training to believe in themselves more. You already have the skill. Make sense?
Absolutely.
Some people are training for the skill, right? They have all the audacity to believe in themselves without knowing how to do it.
Yeah.
But they just want to know how to do it.
Right.
Right? And so maybe you might need both. Maybe you need skill and confidence. But the thing is that sometimes you don't need skill in this industry to be successful. You just need confidence, like a pure belief. I can do this. Because in this industry, it's not really a skill to be fucking human.
Right.
It don't take skills to be human.
Bars
It
on
takes
bars.
honesty and vulnerability and truth and, what's the word? Allowance. You have to allow yourself to feel. Like, I remember when I was coaching actors, and I could literally tell, I'll give an actor a scene where they have to be angry, and I could tell which actors don't allow themselves to feel anger because they don't see the value of anger. They think it's just a destructive force. But anger is also a communicator. If I'm angry, I might be angry because of, for instance, say you did something to disrespect me, and I get angry. That angry communicates to me what I don't want around me. I don't want people who are disrespectful. Now I know what to look out for.
Absolutely.
It's a communicator, right? If someone walked up to me on the street and slapped the fuck out of me and I didn't get angry, let's say their intention was to kill me, my anger would actually allow me to protect myself.
And go eat money on that.
I would go full fuck, you know.
Exactly. Okay. So
Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So anger kind of, you have to understand and appreciate and value it for what it is. Have you ever looked up the definition of a feeling?
no.
It says, number 2, to experience. More people should know that. Feelings are your experience. Meaning, let's say I woke up today. You asked me how I started my day, right? I started my day great. I woke up today. I had a great mood. I had time with myself. It was great. Let's say I woke up today angry, upset. My feeling of that anger and that shows how I'm going to experience my day.
Last question. Last question for me. I'll pass it to my dog. What is one thing that you've done to hone and ground yourself in confidence?
Rely on God.
Amen. Brittany, you're one of my favorite people.
I appreciate you.
He's stuck. You already know.
I'm gonna wrap it here in the honor of a Pab's question. If a young lady that grew up in a place similar to where you grew up is desiring to pursue a career in entertainment, what are some genuine pieces of advice you can lend to her? Whether it be training, whether it be traveling, whether it be studying, whether it be going to the gym, whatever that might mean, right? Give her a microwave version of a path to entering into entertainment. Okay.
So my first mind is thinking of like the blueprint as far as like agents and as most people would say.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to highlight what most people wouldn't say.
Okay.
And first I would ask her is, do you really believe you can do this?
Okay.
And if she said no, then I need to help you believe you can do this, because it doesn't matter what the fuck you go out in there and do.
Right.
If you don't believe that you will be successful, if you don't believe you can do it, you're going to prove yourself right. So why put in all that effort if you haven't started from the seed to water it? So do you believe you can do it?
Believe. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Then trust the process. Now, let's get to how you want to do it. How you want to do it. Do you want an agent? Do you want to do it independently? Because that's the how.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
It makes all the sense.
So let's start with how. But I can give you my blueprint of how I did it, but my blueprint may not work like for you because you ain't me. Right. You don't walk in the room with my energy. I attracted a lot of shit just for being me. I got it from being me. We always say the role is for you, right? So I can't give you a blueprint on how exactly I did it. Like, go to acting class, you'll find your agent, because that might not work for you. But if you want to know how, let's weigh the options. Find an agent, actors access. Do you have your headshots? Do you have this? Do you have that? These are just the things, but more so work on your mindset. Work on your belief. Allow things to come. I'm so into the power of attraction now that if someone asks me how to maneuver through this industry, I'm not going to talk to you about doing it on a physical plane until we talk about your spiritual and your mindset.
Brittany, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
You're a superhero. This interview, this conversation, this experience was well worth it.
It was. I'm appreciative for everyone here for holding space for this talk.
Absolutely.
Thank you for taking time out of your day. Thank you for lending us all of you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Man, call me back. We already did. You know, I talk to y'all. Listen.
Run it back.
Y'all want a part two? Do y'all want to leave it? Drop a comment.
Drop comment.
Part two.
Part two.
I will happily come back.
No, we'll happily have
I got lots to talk about.
ladies and gentlemen.
Miss Brittany Hall.
Pabst
Give her love.
Podcast.
Such a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we
And that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We go deep.
No, and that's